We also, you can see we have a few chairs around. If you need a chair and would like to sit, just wave at me or Amelia. We can find a chair for you. And at this...
Do we want to do a last call if people walk in first?
Last call if you'd like to walk through. All right. And so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Danielle Rose, who is going to get things kicked off for us.
Welcome. Welcome to our grand opening for the Dogs for Better Lives Northeast Training Center. Thank you for coming to celebrate with us. As Brian mentioned, I'm Danielle Rose. I'm a pediatrician from the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I actually work in Salisbury, North Carolina, with my hearing dog Delight, who's here with me. And I have been with Dogs for the Better Lives, which originally was Dogs for the Deaf, back when I first affiliated with them 27 years ago, and hadn't got my first dog then. So I have been thrilled with this organization. It's become our #1 charity. We totally love what they do for animals and the people with disabilities. We've loved seeing them expand into other disabilities other than hearing. And it's been my personal, really, joy to see a East Coast center come about that we are celebrating today after all these years. It's been wonderful. So thank you for coming. I have the privilege of introducing our staff. This area's new staff is Sarah McCracken, and she is our Executive Director of the Northeast region. So Sarah, come tell us about what you're doing.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. Dogs for Better Lives mission is to professionally train dogs that help individuals and enhance their lives, all while maintaining a lifelong commitment to the dogs we rescue, breed, and the clients we serve. It is our goal to be a premier national assistance dog provider throughout the world and country. Yeah, Brian, sorry, I'm already doing world. But the opening of the Northeast region is a tremendous step forward in being able to provide those services to our clients and rescue more dogs and find them a new purpose in helping others. And it's going to alleviate a lot of the cross-country travel that has occurred, that we have already been providing dogs to this area for many years, but they've all had to come from our Oregon location. So for the past 45 years, Dogs for Better Lives has placed over 1,700 dogs to clients completely free of charge. And I'm very proud to say here in the Northeast, we already have 9, soon to be 11 on May 2nd, puppies being raised in the area. We have 21 active client teams and numerous individuals on our wait list ready to get their life-changing assistance dog.
Oh.
By being able to be here, we've been renovating this facility, but we are an organization that serves individuals, and it is our staff that we are so proud of. And so I'd like to take a moment to highlight the Northeast staff who has helped make today possible. We have Danielle Kemp, who is our development manager. Everyone's hiding from me. Andrea Woodcock, who is our program field representative. We have our receptionist team of Debbie Knott and Sarah Martins. We have Michael Haley, who is our daycare attendant and also our camera man today behind the scenes. And in our kennels, we have Abby Chetwind and Susie Mello. And last but certainly not least, Amelia Wenner, who is our boarding manager and has been the woman behind the scenes working tirelessly to make sure today is possible. So special shout out to Amelia. We're so excited, as we've mentioned, to bring Dogs for Better Lives to the Northeast, and that allows us to open up our puppy raising opportunities to individuals now in the Northeast part of the country. And that's when families and individuals take in a puppy. Yes, I know you need your shout out too. Take in a puppy from 8 weeks to about 14 months. and socialize them and get them started on that path to a life-changing gift to someone. And to be able to do that is really an incredible labor of love, and I do say labor because it is not an easy feat. Puppies are cute for a reason. But we are grateful to have that and want to expand. We love the Northeast. The Cape in particular is a close-knit community that wants to support each other, and we're so happy to embrace that and hope that we can continue to make Dogs for Better Lives that easily name-recognized assistance dog provider. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our Massachusetts board members who are also hiding from me, but Doug Hexter and Emily Nelson to come up, please.
I don't have this all memorized, I apologize. Hi everyone, and everyone on video and here. Thank you for coming. My name is Emily Nelson, and I joined the National Board of Directors for Dogs for Better Lives in January of 2022. And I'm really excited for this grand opening in Falmouth. And just wanted to talk briefly, I'll keep it brief, I promise, about why the admissions organization resonates so strongly with me and why I think the opening of this facility is such a critical milestone for DBL. So by way of background, I am from the Boston area. I grew up on the North Shore and have returned to the area recently after spending a few years down in Texas. Professionally, I'm a labor and employment attorney. I work as in-house counsel for a healthcare company that helps people find and buy prescription drugs. And like many board members and people here, I'm a lifelong dog lover. I grew up with a golden retriever and then went down in Texas. I adopted my rescue dog Decker from a high hill shelter there. Serving on the board of DBL is a wonderful combination for me of my passion for health and wellness and my passion for dogs. I've seen the impact of assistance and service dogs in the workplace through my work, helping employees be able to better do their jobs. And I'm really honored that I was asked to serve on the board of an organization where there's a lifetime commitment to these dogs, which means also that there's a 100% funding commitment, so all donations for its programmatic services, which you don't see from a lot of charities or organizations and means a lot to me, so that every dollar goes to the organization. And finally, I'm really excited this is opening on a Cape. This place just comes alive during the summer. I spent summers here, and it's going to be great to have so many people have visibility to this organization over the next few months when it becomes very, very busy down here for our West Coast board members. You will see the number of tourists and visitors really, really triple. So thank you everyone for your continued support of this organization. I'm really excited to be here. Congratulations to Brian and Sarah and the rest of the team out here on getting this facility renovated, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I'll turn it over to Doug.
Thank you. Take notes here. I was told to keep this short, so we had to reduce the book. So I'm Doug Hexter. I also live in Massachusetts. I moved here about 5 years ago from Ithaca, New York, just over in Western Mass. I'm also happy to be here at the grand opening. So I remember the first board meeting in 2019, actually in Oregon, when we could travel. The leadership team laid out the vision of growth for the organization that became this facility and other facilities throughout the country as they open up. And joining as a board member was exciting for me personally because I grew up with my sister who's deaf since the age of 3. And I've seen how dogs were critical to her independence and development, both later in life with professional service dogs, but even our family pets growing up just seemed to know that she needed a nudge when the doorbell rang, just sort of organically, which was really sort of cool. And I'm also a dog lover and passionate about animal charities. 8 years ago, I founded a mobile app, Wolf Tracks, that lets you support your local animal charity just by walking your dog. And I'm excited to say that this year we have a challenge running from our generous sponsor, Barrow Ingelheim, whose rep was here this morning, unfortunately I missed them. And it's a national challenge, and every walk that people take in the challenge raises money for DBL. And when I wrote this yesterday, we had 40,000 miles. I'm going to say we had 40,000 miles on the challenge. I just checked about 5 minutes ago, and we had 56,000 miles. So thanks to everybody for coming here. I'm really excited that there's a facility in our backyard, and when my boarding kennel gets booked up, I'm going to be coming here. Oh, and so now I think Daniel Kemp is next.
Hi, everyone. I am in charge of fundraising. So all around the Northeast, we just added Florida to my territory, so I'm coming there next. With that, I want to thank Black Dog. They donate all the refreshments, there's tennis balls to take, and we're looking forward to a continuing partnership with them. They have been more than lovely. So thank you for that. And I was called to tell a story of a puppy raiser. My ED Sarah has already told you more about that, but this is Jackie and her dog Finn. And as we mentioned, they raise the puppies for about a year and then turn them back into DBL to be trained. So Jackie's story is, why did I decide to be a puppy raiser for Dogs for Better Lives? It's complicated. Dogs have always been an important part of our family, but when my husband George and I lost our black lab in 2019, George was battling Parkinson's and another dog just seemed like too much to handle. Then came COVID, and in spring of 2020, George passed away. I saw Dogs for Better Lives seeking puppy raisers and volunteer managers. I was immediately tempted, but told myself I shouldn't rock the boat. Don't do it, I told myself when I went to bed that night. But then my first thought the next morning was, do it. 7 weeks later, an adorable little bundle of fur sat on my doorstep, staring up at me with soulful brown eyes. It was love at first sight. Finn was a joy from day one. He is cute, sweet, well-behaved, and just like a toddler. Letting go won't be easy, I know, but he will make a great companion to someone who really needs him, and that's what I keep in mind. Sharing your home and heart with a furry little bundle of love and making a difference in someone's life too, what's not to love? And if that inspires any of you, see any of our staff afterwards, we can talk more about puppy raising. And now back to Dr. Danielle Rouse.
So, I recently was elected to be chairman of the board, and we have our main board chair still in Oregon, probably watching online, because with COVID, and thanks to our executive director, Brian, our organization was already primed by computers to be able to handle all the changes that happened, because we'd already prepared to be having a national board. And that made us even more available to handle the pandemic and get everybody safe and then bring everybody back now that we can. So I've been super pleased to have been serving on the board through this time, to see the wonderful accomplishments that we've been able to do with your help. As I mentioned, I've been affiliated as a client for about 27 years, and this is my 4th year as a board member. But I'm a pediatrician, and I've been fortunate enough to do very well with cochlear implants. But when I was training, I had not gotten a cochlear implant yet, and I had hearing devices, hearing aids that I could still use. And then finished medical school, but one ear died because of not being able to be amplified. And so I managed to make it through medical school with the other ear and some lip reading training. Went into residency training in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and one night at 3 a.m. my apartment burnt down. And fortunately, my landlord knew about my hearing loss and persisted in banging on my window, so the vibrations of that and people kicking my door woke me up. But it really hit home that I could really use some extra help with times like that, especially when I'm sleeping and I don't hear anything at all. And so that was when I started looking at what's there to help that. And I was fortunate to see a presentation by another dog person team, Teresa and Corky. And I knew right then I wanted a dog, and that was going to be the perfect solution for me. But I also respected that I needed to have a yard and time with the dog and be able to maintain the dog's needs. And so it wasn't until I was in practice a few years later, and after I got a cochlear implant, because in the meantime my other ear died, that I got my first hearing dog named Chucky. And so I've had 3 hearing dogs. Delight is my third. I'm one of 115 dog care teams across the nation. Dogs for Better Lives have placed hearing dogs all across the nation. And then we decided to expand into other services. We have an autism dog program, and we have a facility dog program. But those programs we're still building, and that's what we are enjoying your support for, to build our autism program on the East Coast. It's one thing really dear to my heart, because as a pediatrician, I also see a bunch of autism children. And my dog serves as a helper. We call her moonlighting facility dog because she's there for my hearing problem, and she tells us about the overhead pages, the phone ringing, and if your phone's ringing in our exam room, and if the nurse is knocking on the door. But if my patient does not want to get on the table, hates to get their ears looked at, is really upset after shots, then that's a job for Delight. So we have patients that won't get out from under the table to be examined. So I send Delight in, and they get curious enough to come out and say hi to her. And then we do the doctor on her ears and her eyes, and we get to see the kid's eyes and ears at the same time. So she does a lot of moonlighting. And just this year, my organization that is extremely supportive of me, I've been there 10 years this year, decided that they needed a full-time facility dog to help with all the shots that we give, especially since COVID clinic. And so our nurse manager has applied for a facility dog. We are so excited. It's so fun to watch my community enjoy the application process and the building of this organization as well. So that community side of what a dog does for somebody with disabilities is huge, something I didn't really ever appreciate until I had had my dogs for a while. First, I had to learn how to advocate for myself, not get upset when they said, you're not supposed to have a dog in the grocery, which was 27 years ago. That's cool now, and everybody's like, oh, no problem. We walked in all the restaurants here, nobody even asked. We didn't have to do any of that advocacy because we've incorporated assistive dogs in our community so much. So thank you for all you've done for that, and thank you for your support of us. And Brian, I hope I didn't take your soapbox too much. Brian.
I'll figure it out.
So that we can get you done with our ribbon cutting. This is Brian Williams, our CEO of Dogs for Better Lives. And take it from there, Brian.
I'm going to sneak in here. It's always hard to follow Dr. Rose, but I love hearing her story. And for those who don't know, what hearing dogs do is they alert to sound. So when a sound goes off, the light will alert Dr. Rose. And so it's funny, sitting in our board meeting last night, and the phone kept ringing. And Dr. Rose had to keep the light under the table and not alerting her to the phone ring. So it was funny to see that. So I'm Brian Williams, CEO of Dogs for Better Lives. I've been there about 4 years now. Thank you for everyone who attended in person and online. I would like to thank some people. So this has been a really long time coming, getting this building opened. We're headquartered in Oregon, and we had a lot of staff actually fly here to help with numerous projects. So I would like to recognize Trish Welch. Fernando Ayala, who's on our Southern Oregon campus as our facilities manager. We had John Richards, who's in HR, come out and help, and Terry Fuller, who's in IT and computer work for us. helped get all this done. So thank you to all those individuals that worked so hard to make that happen. I would also like to recognize our board members who came here and our young professional board members. So if you could raise your hand, board members, young professionals. We do have the young professional board in the Northeast now, and so if you're interested, you can ask Harvey or myself, and we'll explain, and Danielle, and we'll explain how that works. And like to have our puppy raisers raise your hand and be recognized. And are there any clients in attendance other than Dr. Rose? No? So, clients, thank you, Dr. Rose. And then our staff, if you raise your hand, and the staff following our ribbon cutting will have a tour, and staff will be around, so feel free to ask them any questions about the facility and what we do here. And as Doug said, this has been a long time coming. I was brought into the organization to help it scale and to grow. We know the impact that dogs make on people's lives, and so we want to do more and more and more and more of that. And so we work together as a board and leadership team to create a vision for how we will expand and grow across the country. And this is facility number 2 in that growth plan. So it's a very exciting day. I'm very happy to be here and to be part of this community. And it was mentioned that 100% of donations go directly to programmatic services at DBL. That's because of our generous donors who have left us in their will and bequest, and the fiscal management of our board. So our endowment covers our operating expenses, and all donations go to the program. So it's a great thing to say, and haven't been able to say that throughout my career. So it's a great organization. We're happy to be in this community. And with that, I would like to call up Sarah McCracken, the Northeast Region Executive Director, the Cape Cod Chamber, and our board members in attendance, and we're going to do the ribbon cutting.
So, we're just gonna make sure we are.
Okay, so, all right, so where's the middle? Who's the middle?
Dr. Rose and I are going to be.
So you gotta be next to each other.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you
And
very
then just
much.
straighten out a little.
You're a little.
So I'll tell you, if you want to take pictures to make it better, so Dr. Rose, from you back here, if you put your left foot out, face the middle.
This is our
Put your right foot out, and face the middle. Over here as well, yeah. You've done this before. Now, before you cut, just to make sure, before you cut, so take pictures. I gotta say a quick spiel, so on behalf of the Cape Cod and Falmouth Chambers of Commerce, congratulations, we also have representation from the Mashpee Chamber who's here. Thank you so much, this is really outstanding. I didn't know as much, we learned a little bit before we came, but this is outstanding, and I think you're gonna find that Falmouth and the Cape is gonna be a wonderful home for your organization, filled with dog lovers, and just an outstanding opportunity, I think, for both your clients, the patients, and the dogs. So, best of luck, and we're here to help. Thank you. So, you want to count to 3 and cut the ribbon?
Virtually, please stay tuned for a video tour of the facility. For everyone else, if you would like to go on a tour, we'd be happy to take you on a tour of the facility. And again, a special thank you to the Falmouth and Cape Cod Chamber for joining us today. So thank you all very much.